Fox News alerts senators beginning the immigration debate after hours of partisan wrangling over the terms of the debate yesterday. First on the docket, a GOP plan from Senator Chuck Grassley and others that follows the White House framework. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell saying there is widespread agreement on the issue, but big changes must be made.
Keeping Americans safe does not need to be a partisan issue. And addressing these important safety issues along with DACA, border security, and other parts of our broken immigration system is our best chance to produce legislation that can pass the House, pass the Senate, and earn the President's signature. The longer my colleagues across the aisle refuse to come to the table, the longer they're unable to produce any legislation they actually support, the lower the odds that we can arrive at a legislative solution this week.
And Democrats are already vowing to blame the White House if no deal is reached. Shocker.
The American people know what's going on. They know that this president not only created the problem, but seems to be against every solution that might pass because it isn't 100% of what he wants. If at the end of this week we are unable to find a bill that can pass, I sincerely hope that's not the case due to the good efforts of so many people on both sides of the aisle. The responsibility will fall on the president's shoulders and those in this body who went along with him.
Meantime, President Trump today with a statement supporting the Grassley bill. As a new report says, the president is warning he will veto any bill that doesn't advance the reforms that he wants. This all comes as a second federal judge is barring the Trump administration from ending the DACA program next month. Jessica, I'll start with you because Mitch McConnell also said, why won't Democrats take yes for an answer? I thought that was a great way of putting it.
It definitely was. I mean, there are so many versions of this bill now. It gets a little confusing, but the Grassley bill, I believe, has protections for the 1.8 million DACA recipients that President Trump offered in the State of the Union. And what's going to be really difficult for Democrats going forward on this, if they said this is all about dreamers, then even though there's the $25 billion for the border wall and there's an end to chain migration, which I prefer to call family reunification, and an end to the lottery and E-Verify and these four pillars that President Trump wants there, still, if you said first and foremost it's about dreamers, you're going to look a little hypocritical if you're then saying no to these other things.
So why not say yes and claim victory? I mean, why not say yes and just say, look what we made Republicans do?
Because I think that fundamentally, the border wall was such a point of contention during the campaign. It was so difficult to stomach. And Democrats really made a huge deal out of it. So then I think saying, oh, okay, we said yes to $25 billion for this border wall that we've opposed from the beginning is going to be difficult. So
even though they called it a wall system, I mean, I thought the change in language gave them a little bit of room. When the president came out and he said openly, we're not really talking about a wall. We're talking about a system. In some places there won't be a wall. And he acquiesced on that point. I thought that would give them the out.
Democrats, specifically Democratic senators, especially those that want to run for president, are going to play to their base, and they don't want to give a single thing to this president no matter what. But this is a very smart move by Mitch McConnell because he's forcing Democrats to actually vote for things, or more importantly, against things like sanctuary cities. The party is so out of step with regular voters that they're going to be on the record time and time again for things that are dramatically unpopular, including this bill that the president's putting forward, which has a lot of common sense attached to it. They only want to vote for something they like. Of course, they need a majority to do that.
Remember what the president said. He said in the end, Americans, particularly Hispanic Americans, are going to love Republicans for what they can get accomplished. He said that not too long ago. I spoke recently with Alfonso Aguilar, who heads up the Latino Partnership for Conservative Principles, and he said, he just harkens back to 38% of Hispanics voted for President Trump. And it isn't because what he tweets and what he says and all that. It's because of policies that they saw dealing with issues that were not going to be dealt with. And he said, we're not going to love everything about them, but at least some things will be settled.
Yeah, but Harris, here's the problem for the Democrats. They cannot allow this administration to be the administration that actually provides a path forward to citizenship for 1.8 billion people that are here, million people, forgive me, illegally. And so they can't allow that. And, those are votes that they're afraid they will lose forever.
Well, they might have been able to if you didn't couple that with tax cuts, a growing economy, potentially infrastructure and other things. I mean, they're ticking down the things that are going to be difficult, Trish, this election year for Democrats.
I just think that they like and I hate to say this, and I've told you this before, Harris, but they like the idea of the optics of all these people being sent out of the country. And you saw Chuck Schumer in that soundbite that Melissa referenced. He was saying it's going to be the president's fault. They want to be able to say, okay, Americans are shipping these people out, and it's all because of Donald Trump. Therefore, you need to go to the polls and vote for us in 2018. Okay.
New movement in the Russia investigation. Sources telling Fox News that President Trump's lawyers are putting together a case against an in-person interview with Robert Mueller. Can this plan actually work? Or is a sit-down imminent? Plus, we're still waiting for the release of a Democratic memo responding to Republican claims of Obama-era abuse of surveillance powers. And now Democrats are accusing the White House of trying to silence them. But GOP Congressman Ron DeSantis says the Democrats have been planning this from the beginning.
He knew what he was doing. He wanted to get in this situation where he can accuse other people of trying to cover this up.